an answer gets increasingly complicated. And so absolutely, I think context engineering is key. Is key to get, building more reliable AI agents that can that are helpful in more complex environments. But I don't think it's, context engineering make it sounds like it's an engineering problem, but I actually think it's really more of like an organizational problem. Like, you have to understand what are the key questions to answer. How should you organize the data? What are the kind of questions that might get answered? So it's really not just at least for like an enterprise use case, it's really not just an engineering problem, but that you have to understand your company at like a deeper level almost to be able to do it correctly, I think.
Totally, yeah. And in that sense, like in the age of AI, what will be the long-term moat? I think you get this question a lot, but what could be the long-term moat for startups or startup founders? Is it only speed or execution?
I think, earlier on, I do think speed and execution is really important, especially kind of the rapid cycles help you figure out the problem you want to solve. I think as you start growing, kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier. I think what you want to get to is building a reputable, trusted brand. I think trust is hard to build, but once you build it, it's a huge leg up, and I think that feels like a moat, kind of the trust piece. Again, moats is kind of it might not be the right phrase for it, but I think branding is important. And then and an idea I've been playing around with a little bit is this idea of well-structured memory or user data or user context. I think becomes kind of a moat of sorts, right? I benefit from. I go back to ChatGPT a lot because it has a lot of my historical context. So I really like that I can just refer to a previous conversation I've had. I can even just go in and say, hey, I have to talk about X. Based on what you know about me, can you just like draft me some points that I would talk about on this topic? And it does a pretty good job. Interestingly, right, with social networks, there was like the more people you knew on the platform, the more valuable the platform got. But with something like an AI, I think just the more it knows about me, right, the more valuable it becomes for me. So that's, I think, another moat of sorts.